Blessed, loving, blessed night, fighting world, fighting nation. It's Coach Fire from Real Life Boxing, man. I just wanted to touch on a subject real quick. This Floyd Mayweather Jr. Gucci blackface whole matter. Apparently Gucci came out with a blackface sweater design, and everyone deemed it to be racist, and a bunch of rappers and a bunch of celebrities came out and said that they're boycotting Gucci. They're no longer wearing Gucci because of the racist, because they found that gesture to be racial. So Floyd Mayweather, of course, in his glory, TMZ pulls up on Floyd Mayweather. I don't know if it was today or yesterday, but TMZ ends up pulling up on Floyd Mayweather as he's going into the Gucci store. And Floyd goes on his whole rant about how he doesn't get into boycotts. He gets on boy yachts and he does his own thing. He doesn't care what anybody says. He's not boycotting Gucci and whatsoever have you. So I just wanted to touch on this subject. I don't really touch on subjects like this. If you're a subscriber of my channel, you know that I don't really like to talk anything that's not boxing. But since it's Floyd Mayweather, I'm gonna talk about it. Now, I've always been a fan of Floyd Mayweather, the boxer. You know what I mean? Big Floyd Mayweather, the boxer fan. You know what I mean? But I'm not really, a fan of Floyd Mayweather, the man. But I don't really pay attention, to any of that shit, because who am I to judge another man? You know what I mean? It is what it is. But so the topic of my video is Floyd Mayweather is a rebel, not a revolutionary. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if Floyd Mayweather actually called TMZ and told TMZ to meet him in front of the Gucci store. You know what I mean? I don't put that past Floyd. We all know that Floyd loves attention. He loves being in the media spotlight, and being that he hasn't, that he's not really boxing anymore. Well, he's doing exhibitions now. He's not fighting like that. You know what I mean? He's not fighting anymore. So, he has to find a way to stay in the eye of the public. Now, I say that Floyd is a rebel because Floyd is a rebel. You know what I mean? And rebel being, he always goes against the grain. You know what I mean? He did that in his boxing career, and he's doing that in life. Now, the only thing about Floyd's rebelism, I consider myself to be a rebel also. But you go against the grain of the system, you know what I mean? That hasn't been, the greatest system towards our culture. You go against the grain, you consider that as a rebel. Floyd, on the other hand, is a rebel to his own culture. He goes against the grain, not of the system, but of the culture. So, like when the whole Black Lives Matter thing came out, Floyd was like, all lives matter, not just, black lives, where we as black people would be expecting, a black man that has, the amount of money, or he's on Floyd's, status as far as his social status, and just, life status. Floyd is famous around the world, So we would expect a black man to use his platform, to promote, the positive upholding and uplifting of black people in the culture, worldwide. But instead, Floyd uses it to be a rebel towards his own culture and towards what we believe. And this is a perfect example. Gucci does something that people deem to come across as racist, or racial, and the black community, the black hip hop community, the black media community, everyone has decided to boycott Gucci, whereas Floyd is like, no, F that. I'm not getting on any boycott. I'm getting on boy yachts. I do what I want to do. So this is a perfect example. So Floyd Mayweather is a rebel. He's not a revolutionary. So I think that people, and nothing against to what anybody feels about it. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. I just don't think that people should get as emotionally invested. Like Floyd is not, Muhammad Ali. He doesn't have that mentality. He doesn't have the mentality of of a Jim Brown, back in those days. He doesn't have the mentality of a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, you know what I mean, back in those days. Regardless of what those people seem to be now, you know what I mean? Like, Floyd is not a revolutionary, and he's made that pretty clear by the things that he says and by the things that he does. So, you know, us black people need to stop putting so much hope in into some of these celebrities and people that have money, because just because they're celebrities and they have high stature, what I mean, and they're rich, that doesn't mean that they're thinking on a conscious level. I remember a long time ago, one of my Rastafarian friends, he told me, you can't expect people to be on your level of consciousness. Like, you can't expect other people to think the way that you think, to be on your level of consciousness. And I find that to be very true. You know what I mean? It's not because you think a certain way, it doesn't mean that the next person thinks that way. And you shouldn't even expect that they do think that way. You know what I mean? So I think once we can start doing that, we'll be much 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 better off in certain aspects of not expecting people to do or say certain things. So you know that's what I think. Floyd Mayweather is a rebel. He's not a revolutionary. He actually is a rebel, not even towards the system. He's a rebel towards his own people. He's rebelling against the ideas and the thoughts of his own culture, what we would find beneficial towards us in the eye of the masses. Floyd is directly rebelling, what I mean, against that. So, you know, and for me, like, it is what it is. Like he said, he could do what he wants, and if that's what he wants to do, what I mean, by all means. Like, I don't put any emotion to it or take anything personal out of it. You know what I mean? Like, everyone in the world has the right to do and say whatever they want, and I never expect people to be on the level of consciousness that I'm on. So I just leave it at that. You guys tell me what you guys think about this whole situation in the comments. Hit the like button if you like the video. Fuck it, hit the dislike button if you don't like the video. I'm gonna leave y'all with that, man. Peace and one love. It's real life boxing.